The Need of the Time. Delhi, Tuesday 20th November 1956, Series 7, edited and founded under direct order of His Divine Grace Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada by Goswami Abjuran Bhaktivedanta. The fortnightly periodical Back to Godhead is the need of the time as the panacea for all sorts of material diseases in their various forms. The Ahmedabad incidences and several other occurrences all over the world are creations of a godless civilization, and the need of the time is to counteract them, for the tendency is so much harmful to the humanity at large. It is not the question of interest which one may or may not have in the subject matters dealt in the pages of Back to Godhead, but yet they have to be swallowed up as doses of medicines for cure of a chronic disease. Gentlemen, therefore, in responsible positions in the social orders, such as all administrators, all businessmen, all mill owners, all industrialists, all agriculturists, all educationalists, etc., are respectfully requested herewith to give Back to Godhead a wide circulation throughout the world by one's energy, wealth, intelligence and words, collectively or separately. Legislative actions or similar pressure of the state cannot change the fallen heart of the misguided citizen unless he is awakened by his own divine nature. The dormant divine nature within a person must therefore be awakened, otherwise all external qualifications will be decorations of the dead body. The panacea is to learn how to love Godhead. To create a false god or to become a false god by imagination is much an act of inferior quality than to love God and to become interested in God. Pure love of Godhead automatically qualifies a man with all the saintly qualities, whereas in the absence of such pure love of God, all mundane qualities will be compared with a jewel on the head of the serpent. Such qualifications are sure to become tools in the hands of the illusory nature technically called by the name Maya. Help reading Back to Godhead regularly. Opinion of Sri K.D. Bapai, M.A., archaeologist and curator in Government Museum, Mathura, UP. I have been reading the fortnightly periodical Back to Godhead with profit and interest. The editor of the paper, Sri Abjuran Bhaktivedanta, is taking great pains to make it useful to scholars and laymen. The articles published in the Back to Godhead are very instructive and open the way to understand religion and philosophy in their true sense. I have no doubt that under the able editorship of Sri Bhaktivedanta Ji, who is a profound scholar, this paper will render great service to humanity. Such papers are greatly needed to guide the life and thought of the people at large. Opinion of Professor B. Sinha, M.A., B.T., LL.B., Faculty of Arts, Baroda College, and President, Theosophical Society, Baroda. It was pleasure and profit to discuss spiritual matters with Sri Goswami Abjuran Bhaktivedanta Ji. I wholeheartedly support his efforts to spiritualize the conduct of human life today. The paper Back to Godhead contains valuable articles, food for thought and inspirations to good living. I pray to God that his attempt may achieve the success they so richly deserve. Opinion of Professor Hukum Chand Chaturvedi, M.A., etc., lecturer in economics, M.B.J., College Bharatpur. I went through some of the articles published in the first 8 issues of Back to Godhead. We are passing through times which, in spite of day-to-day and minute-to-minute clamoring for the recognition of spiritual value and practicing it in our social relations, we find them conspicuous by their more or less absence in our dealing with each other. I firmly believe that Back to Godhead will give most of our thinking men not only food for reflection but also inspire them to change their very approach for solution of problems of life. What dry thinking may fail to achieve may be easily attained by pure love of God, whose grace alone can sustain us in the path of right consciousness in the face of worldly troubles and difficulties. Opinion from Sri B.N. Sinha, BSc, Ang, ANIE, Ind, etc., resident engineer of Mathura Electric Supply Co., Mathura. I am regular subscriber of the paper Back to Godhead edited by Sri Goswami Abjuran Bhaktivedanta. The paper teaches us the way to reach God in the approved scientific way chalked out by our liberated sages who flourished in the glorious days of India. We have deviated much from their path and therefore become conditioned by the stringent laws of nature. It is a noble attempt to bring back the people in general to divinity in the plane of spirit soul where we can enjoy peace and prosperity perfectly. Opinion of R.S. Sri Gurprasad Kapurax, Han. Magistrate, Delhi. I have been a regular reader of the paper Back to Godhead since it has been introduced. During these days when the majority of the people of this country appear to have entirely forgotten God, I understand that the publication of such a paper is badly needed in order to invoke the ideals of humanity and spiritualism for which India was respected throughout the world in the old days. God-loving public must appreciate the efforts made by the editor of the paper, Sri Goswami Abjuran Bhaktivedanta, in introducing such a useful organ. It would be better if the instructive paper is published in Hindi also. Opinion of Dr. Ram Krishna Baradwa, Municipal Commissioner of Delhi. I am glad to have become subscriber and gone through the contents of Back to Godhead. This periodical is trying to solve the problems of practical life through spiritual realization. I am of considered opinion that India can never prosper unless we raise our moral standard and adopt the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. Spiritual realization and moral standard are two identical things. The ancient Indian culture on spiritual conception is the ideal civilization. The motto of simple living and high thinking is a byproduct of spiritual life. This straight way of spiritual understanding is being advocated by Sri Goswami Abjuran Bhaktivedanta, the able and scholarly editor of Back to Godhead. The mode of his scholarly, but at the same time very simple presentation, and the ways of his expression are excellent and they have impressed me the most. I wish that every cultured gentleman and specially those who are leading the public opinion must read this important paper. In my opinion, every library and more particularly all school and college libraries must subscribe to this important fortnightly paper. I thank Sri Goswami Bhaktivedanta ji for his timely bringing up such important paper for a novel enlightenment of cultured life.